Okay, everyone, we're back. Like you see, I laid out the parts and started looking at the instructions to come up with a plan. So one thing on the front of the instructions, to give a color listing of the paints that you'll need. So one looks like I'm going to be deviating from one of them. So I went and I had gotten the Model Master colors instead of trying to improvise too much. So I went with the Signa Red. Now the interesting thing is, if you look at the federal standard color that they have listed in the back, it's 11136, and this one is 31136. So from the Model Master chart, the first digit is if it's gloss or flat. So I couldn't find anywhere the 111, so I got the 311. So that's the red. I got the chrome yellow, olive drab, a little different bottle, olive drab, neutral gray, and then they have here chromate green, which is the, if you look on Tester's site, it's green zinc chromate. And that makes up the majority of the interior paint colors. Now, I didn't find that paint, but I did find this thing that's called interior green. Now, I looked on Tester's website, and it's a little bit tough for me, I guess, from the computer screen, but it shows that it's pretty darker than it appears to be darker than this. Either that or the zinc chromate green is much, much brighter. But I'm going to go with this because from pictures I've seen on the web and stuff like that, this is looks pretty close to the interior color that I find. And if it's a little bit off, so be it. I'm not going to sweat it. So, but what I have to do here is, there's a lot of times I will just prime this and then paint with top coat, but I think the primer I have may be a little bit too thick. I'll probably prime the exterior of the fuselage, we'll see. But for what I want to do now is I want to cut out some of the bigger pieces, and I want to see how this goes together. I mean, I can feel and actually see. I don't know if I get that close, if you'll be able to see that. Let's see if I tilt this maybe this way. It's a little bit hard to see, but there's a little bit roughness in here. So what I want to do is cut this before I wash everything up and all that. I'm going to cut some pieces out, try and test fit some things, and go from there. The way this goes together, I guess I could either, I don't know what I can do. I guess I can put half this in, but you're supposed to put it all together, then maybe I'll try and mask this. So that's what I want to try and play around with and come up with a plan. So I want to cut the big pieces out, this portion of the sprue with these heavy cutters, so I can get in with my fine cutters without fighting the center sprue. And then you see me, I prefer these, so it's so that's reasonably flat. So I don't want to see any contrast in there. I don't want to cut it this way and then just crush that. I wanted to cut this way, so I'm going with the body line of the plane, and that's why I cut the big piece out. So let me just get lined up here. I don't want to cut any of the plane. Okay. So you see this nice smooth cut, I hope, which takes a little minimal dressing in, but that's pretty much flush right there. Okay. the other side. Actually, I want to take a little bit more of this piece off. So that one I actually just took a little touch of paint of the plane there, so I have to file that and dress that in. It just chipped those two a little bit. Okay. So let's just see what happens when I try and put these two together. Alright, so just roughing it together, there's going to be a fair amount of sanding in here to get this smooth in here. From what I can tell here, there's not really any rivet detail or anything underneath here, so that should help. Not worrying about losing too much detail. This part here isn't too bad. So this is tight here, but the very tip of the nose, there you go, if you can see that so well. Let's get tilted this way. You can see from the shade part, see this upper tip here is, let's get a little closer, see. So this looks like I'll need to put a little stuff, we'll put in here, get that to line up. So I guess the trick is going to be to get the cockpit in and then mask that so I can get the rest of this set so it's dressed up. So that'll be that. Probably what I'll do is maybe just slightly see if these pieces need dressing. But what I'll do is first I'll come in and I'm going to sand this interface, make sure that there's nothing, like here's a bump out, so make sure this is all smooth, and then I'll fit it again and see how that goes, because what I want to do is get a good seam here, and then if this for some reason is pushing it out, then I can take material off of here. If I put this in, a lot of times when you have these type of insert things, this piece will throw you off because it may be too big and push out the sides, and then you got a big gap, but in reality this was a problem, but you've glued it in and now you're stuck. So I'm going to stop here. Actually, I'm going to dress this stuff up. I'm going to probably then test fit this piece. I'll probably do some hand painting. I got to wash this, and I'm going to do the seat and all that and trying to glue that in. So I'm going to do a little work, and then I'll show you where I'm at, and we'll go from there. Okay, see you later. Okay, everyone, here's a sanding update. I've spent probably about, 45 minutes per side just going through and cleaning this up. There was some, I guess, little casting pieces I wound up cleaning up, like I said, on both sides. So now I'm still working on getting these two halves to fit nice. So I just wanted to, like I said, give you a little update and show you some things. So let me put these together. Now what I'm working on first is the seam up top here. I'm going to try and show you if I can. It's a little hard for me to show you. But the, let's try a little different angle here. So the middle is fitting pretty good. You can see how up here it's not so good. And there's a gap back here in the tail section. Up here, I gotta do some work in getting this cowl to be flush. Again, it's a little hard to see on the camera, but just the way the casting is. So I want to show you a couple things on how to know where to keep sanding so you don't go too far. So what I have is a X-Acto straight edge, so you get to may reflect too much in the light. This is a basically 3-inch triangle, and it's good to have a good straight precision surface that you can reference against, because it's easy to get yourself lost, you know, if you're starting to sand too much in one spot and you wind up making it worse and making a belly. I don't want to over sand this because then this will over rotate. And again, I don't know if this is going to, if you're going to pick this up on the camera, but let me try. Okay, let's see if I come up and show you that. It's very subtle. Yeah, there you go. There's a good. You can see the gap. Okay. If I show you on this angle, but basically I'm just rotating around, playing around with the camera. This piece is a little bit further out, and there's a little bit here as well. But what I'm going to do is, using this and just taking a little bit off at a time, I'm going to get this piece down so this becomes a straight edge, and that should help me. When I was cleaning it up, I didn't want to go too far because of the way this is cast in, but I'm going to have to take a little bit of that down. Now on the other side there's a recess for that to fit into, and that's this piece here. See, show my finger. So that's that recess. But the tip on this other one is hitting here and keeping this from getting close. So I'm going to take that down on that side. This side is really pretty good. When I lay my straight edge across this, and again it's a little hard for you to see because it's not, maybe if I had a light underneath it as a background you could see the light coming through, but this side's really pretty good. What I do notice is that I may wind up coming back after I clean up this side, and from here to here just taking this down just a little bit because it's a very, very slight belly. But because this other side's so far out, I want to clean it up and then put it together and see what that looks like. I may wind up even taking off the pins to get a better fit. So just wanted to give that a little update. If I take, let me see if I can show you with this. You know, the longer and flatter of a sanding stick you can use, the better off you'll be, because it'll help keep you from making divots. Really, you're not going to be able to see this on the camera, but you know, even with the sanding stick, there's see here, and I just can't get the light to show underneath it. You can see that this piece is a little bit high here. So, little update. I'm going to keep working on it, see how well I can get this to fit before I wind up seeing how the insert for the cockpit fits. That's it for now. See you later.